Salvete plurimum mihi nomen est magistra Sizemore. You already know that. Let me give you the verse that I want you to think about today. The Latin beginning of it is Deus est mea lux quem timebo. And in English, it's the Lord is my light and my salvation. Of whom shall I be afraid? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? So think about that. I'll put it on the stream later on today, but I even put it on in Latin for you. But that's something I want you to know, that we do not need to be afraid because the Lord has gone before us, is around us, is behind us, protecting us from the enemy. So today we're going to introduce a new type of declension. It's called the third declension. Just like the first and second declension, it has a declension clue. The declension clue is IS, and the third declension has all three genders, masculine, feminine, and neuter. So you've already learned a lot of third declension words. In fact, all the way back to third grade, you were learning third declension words. You know why? Because in Latin, most of the words in Latin are third declension. One of the things that is a little different is that this first nominative singular varies. So there's no pattern because there's so many nouns that are in the third declension. It varies. So you'll see we've got rex. Another third declension noun that you've already learned is mater, pater. So it would be mater, matrice, pater, patrice. You've learned canis and phalis. Those are third declension. You've learned words like mons, montis. You've learned arbor, arboris. Let me think of some other. Flumen, fluminis. Oh, you remember some of the animals? Bos, bois. Bos is a cow. Let's see, I've got a cheat sheet here. Other ones you know. Oh, and when we learn the names of the body, the word for body, corpora, corpus, corporis. The name for the head, capitis. One of the things that you're going to find is that because the second part, the declension clue word, the genitive singular, is spelled differently, a lot of the derivatives are going to come not from this spelling, but from this spelling. So let's use this example. Rex regis. Well, the word regal, right, comes from that, and there's where the G is. It's in the stem, which is in the genitive singular. All right, so let's get to looking at some things that you've already seen and reviewing those. So we have our first declension, right? Here's our first declension. And we've got ah. Remember, we've been working with the ablative, that long A. And then the first declension plural, I, arum, is, as, is. And we remember these because most of them have the letter A in them. And it's, for the most part, feminine, except for parita, nata, poeta, agricola. What's the fifth one? Incola. All right, mostly feminine, couple exceptions. Then we moved to the second declension masculine. And here we have, again, pretty regular us, e, o, o, e, orum, is, os, is. And we were learning the ablative is the long O, and we get the bonus that it's exactly the same in the first and second declension, feminine, masculine, and neuter. So let's take a look at the neuter second declension. It's up here on the board. All right. Let's see if we can get this in here. So we've got second declension neuter, e, o, o. Notice the neuter rule is in effect here. And the nominative and the accusative words are exactly the same in the neuter. That's the neuter rule. And the other part of the neuter rule, I'm going to get my color out here, is that these plurals always end in A. That's important because when we get to the third declension neuter, we're going to see that. And I even forget it sometimes when I'm on a roll, but we're not going to forget it today. All right, so let's look at the endings. We have a star here. Why is there a star? Because the endings vary. It doesn't have this nice regular ending like templum, donum. They all have here with the genitive singular the genitive singular e. So it's not this regular. So we just put a star here to say it varies. It's going to be different. Don't worry about it. You'll learn it. And then here's the genitive clue. Big deal. Genitive clue here. Remember, genitive clue is here. That's important. All right. So then we go, we have an I for the dative. We have an M, right? There's an M. That's how you're going to recognize the accusative, right? Accusative usually, singular usually has an M. So it's or depending if it's first, second, or now we have third declension, it's M. And then the ablative is a short E. Let's go up to the plural. Plural is a long ES. The genitive plural is This is going to be our bonus because it's ibus, and this is also ibus. So it repeats. And then this is ace. So let's go over them. It's varies, is-e-m-e, ace, ibus, ace, ibus. So you're going to see these, you're going to practice these on this week. Let's look at the neuter. Remember, we've got two things here that we have to remember. First of all, obviously it's going to have the same genitive clue. It's going to vary also. But what does that mean? If this varies, we said the accusative and the nominative are always the same. So that means whatever this is up here, so if it's rex here, it's rex here. If it's mate, mea culpa. I gave you a masculine example. Okay, that's incorrect. If it's masculine, it's rex here and it's regem here. Let's think of a neuter word. I know one. Caput. Caput means head. Head. Okay? So caput is the nominative singular and caput is the accusative singular. All right? You'll get used to that. And then we have E. This is the same E. We have eh. Okay, we do not have ace here. We have again, and here. Because it's neuter, the plural is going to be Plural for the nominative, plural for the accusative. That's just the neuter rule. You're going to see that when you read on page 70. Then this is the same this is the same ibus, and this is the same ibus. So let's say these. It's good to get them all in your head in order. So it varies, and it's is, e, up. See, I went and did it. It's a little tricky till you practice it, okay? Varies, is, e. Why do I say e? Because it's an I, and we pronounce that e in Latin. This is the same. Whatever the nominative is, the accusative will be. This is the letter E, so it's eh. Ibus, ibus. All right, so let's try and use a word. We talked about kaput. We're going to try and decline a third declension neuter noun and show you some things that you're going to run across when you do the assignment. So the word is kaput, and the second is capitis. All right, kaput. Actually, it's kaput. Emphasis on the first syllable. Means head. Let's see what happens here. Let's form the stem. So the stem means you take the is off. This is the is. It tells us it's third declension. We have to memorize that it's neuter. There's nothing about this word that tells us it's neuter. We just know that from memorizing the vocabulary. Do we take this? No. We take this part, C-A-P. Notice the vowel changes. It's not you. It's spelled differently. And we've already taken the IS off, so this is our stem. You're going to do an exercise where you're going to tell me for all the third declension, well, I guess for all the vocab, we're going to have 13 vocab nouns. You're going to give me the stem for them, and this is how you find them, not looking at this one, taking the genitive clue off, whether it's E or I or is. You take the genitive singular ending off, and the rest of it is your stem. So let's oh, I took the nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablatives off. So let's put them back. And we're going to do a singular column and a plural column. So this is easy, kaput, right? It's what we get when we look at the word in the dictionary entry. And we already know the genitive singular, because that's the second entry. That's where we get our clue that this is a third declension noun. So here's my stem, kapit. What do I put? I put an I. Kapiti is a dative. All right, here I'm going to make a mistake on purpose. It's kapit. Oh, wait a minute. It is the same as the nominative. So I don't use the stem here. I just repeat, because it's neuter, I just repeat the nominative. This is the exception where you don't use the stem here. You just say, oh, this is nominative, this is accusative. They're the same because it's the neuter rule. Then I go back to using my stem, kapit, E, kapite. Let's go to the plural. So I do use my stem here, but I don't use the masculine feminine ending. Remember, I have to use the neuter ending. Kapita, kapitum, kapitibus. All right, I'm getting to this accusative again. It's going to be the same. Kapita, and kapitibus. So what's the stem? The stem is kapit. It's third declension. I use kapit to decline all of these except, because it's neuter, I use the nominative over again, and because it's neuter, I put an A instead of an ES. All right, let's go through this then. Kaput, kapitis, kapiti, kaput, kapite, kapita, kapitum, kapitibus, kapita, kapitibus. It sounds a little crazy right now, but you'll get used to using it, and you've got 13 nouns to go over. What else are you going to do? You're going to give me the stems. You're going to give me the declension clues, because not all 13 of those words are third declension. There's a couple of second declension, a couple of first declensions, just to keep you on your toes. And you're going to give me derivatives. This is important. Like I said, the derivatives come from this second part of the definition. You'll see capital, like in capital punishment. You'll see regal. You'll see mons, montem, montis, mons, montis. The T is in the second part of the definition. So you'll see a lot. All of a sudden, the derivatives will be a lot easier, because you'll see that it comes from that second entry, that declension clue word, the genitive singular. All right, have a great day, and I will see you soon.